Hi, hello everybody. Good morning. Wow, it's Saturday already. That's crazy. Happy Saturday. I hear that it is Women's something. Oh, International Women's Day. Oh, thank you for letting us know that. Awesome. I love that. So, hi everybody. um, I I'm changing up what I had planned on doing. I planned on doing a little bit of a presentation based on some things that came to light last night during the Magic of Healing Channels presentation. Ximena and Hockeytown John, Keela and Rachel were in the chat. They had a lot of insight. They had a lot of things to say about their experience. And I am going to pull things from what they said. I'm going to play a clip from last night. I hope you don't mind, Ximena, because I think she spoke beautifully. She spoke from the heart without judgment, with kindness, but also a lot of strength and a lot of courage. And I think that what she said was really important. And I think that it could be a lesson for all. We're not, I don't have to say this for the people that know me. For the people that don't, or the people that don't like me, you can go ahead and make your judgments. But I know I do care about people. I know I do care about all of you in the chat. And I'll say this. And when I say that, I'll say this. It's going to be a little spicy. I got my Don't Burn My Biscuits cup and the tea. I got the tea today. I got tea for 67 so far. Hi. Okay. So I think I've only missed in the past week or two before since I've come back from going away to see Hef and Alan and Clearwater Chad. I think I've only missed like one of Natalie's streams, Life After Cult, and I didn't watch the one a couple days ago. And I explained why on my stream that I wanted to have a clear head and not be influenced. Well, today I decided to tune in and I just said a few hellos. I wasn't really saying anything spicy. I wasn't stating my opinions or anything, but I began to see some Reese fans kind of low key attacking me, and the mods were like deleting. Delete. Oh, sorry, sorry. I don't know why my phone just decided to turn on. Yeah, so I was thinking about that, and I was like, that's interesting because the theme seemed to be that Aaron was talking about a certain protester that was constantly attacking the second gens and didn't seem to be really like pointing out one or two. It was like a ton of them and didn't really have any reason to. It was just like, you're a bad actor, you're a bad actor, you're a bad actor, and all this, right? And somehow I think it seemed like these Reese fans were trying to take that opportunity to shame me and ask a question, just asking questions. Does that sound familiar? Just asking a question of Natalie, which I don't know if she ever pulled it up. I doubt she did, but maybe she did. I hope she did, actually. I would like to hear what her and Aaron would have to say about it. But is it okay ever? I don't think they said ever, but is it okay for any never ends to be criticizing? I'm pretty sure the word was criticizing. In fact, I took a screenshot of it. Let me read it word for word. I'm not going to say who they are. Okay. Can I ask a question? As Scientologists, do you think it's valid for never ends to criticize second gens? And then a little while later, they said, high control groups are very similar, and there's a lot of high control behavior around here. Yes, there is. Yes, there is a lot of high control behavior around here. And you might want to look at Reese's chat. Just saying. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm not trying to control anybody. I feel like people are trying to control me and shut me up. Hey, you want to say that? I'm going to defend myself and my friends. And Aaron was talking about how he doesn't like to talk about spicy things. He likes to talk about Scientology. But when he feels like he has to defend himself, his friends, and his foundation, then he will speak out. And same with me, And if I see something, I sometimes say something. I don't always. Like I said yesterday, I've never even mentioned DOA. Really, I've never done a video about him. That's really not it doesn't interest me to get involved in that. I have been dragged into some things that I've gotten involved in, or some things that I'm passionate about. So to answer this person's question, I'm going to ask a question with a question. If I am defending cult survivors, but they're not from Scientology, they're from other cults, does that mean they shouldn't be defended? Does that mean they shouldn't have a voice because they're from the wrong cult? I did refrain. And actually, Aaron said this in public yesterday. I refrained, and he doesn't know the timeline, but it was like 9 months. I refrained from saying one word about Reese publicly when I knew what was going on, and I had friends that were being hurt. And I am sorry to Keela and to Hef and to Alan, because I deferred to Reese and to the SBTV Foundation and to Aaron, who is a friend of mine. And I felt like I was kind of like in the middle, and I think he felt like he was in the middle, and we talked about it and stuff. And it's like Reese, the only reason why I didn't say anything is because Reese was a second gen. So how long, like, the thing is, Hef and Keela were from a very similar, if not the same cult background that I am from. Is it not okay to advocate for them because they're from the wrong cult? How does that make any sense whatsoever? We are like, I'm not professing to be only here to support ex-Scientologists. I am here to support ex-Scientologists, but I'm also here to support everybody who needs it. And how is Reese any more untouchable or sacred than any other person? If people are being hurt, I think it's okay to say so. And I waited and waited and waited. I was hoping that it would correct itself. And then when Barb came out, it was like, okay, the coast is clear. I promised Hef and Alan they would have a voice. We had to wait about 3 or 4 weeks because Alan wanted to wait till he came to the States, and the rest is history. And you know what? I would do it again, and I'd do it again, because all these people that have come out, that have been able to let their voice be heard, it's not to trash poor Reese. No, it's not to trash her. It's to set themselves free, and to warn others, because this isn't okay, what has happened. And if you haven't heard Ximena's story and Hockey Town John's story, and also after that, Keela did a whole stream with, I think I fell asleep probably halfway through, but it was beautiful. It was like everybody supporting each other. It was just very, very healing. And I think that just because they're never ends doesn't mean they don't have a right to a voice. And I get there's a difference between, my channel isn't all about exposing ex-Scientologists and ripping them down. I'm not doing day and night and day about, bad actors and all that. And if I get more views for that, that's whatever. It's whatever. That's not why I do it. And anybody that knows me knows that. Actually, I was called a grifter for the very first time today. Because somebody said, "Oh, you're in the tribe of Aaron, and you're a grifter." And I was like, "Wow, thank you." Because I've never been called that before. Because a lot of people know that I'm really not, because I give a lot of it away, and I don't care. Like, I'm not here solely for the purpose to make money. I'm not. If it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too, because I'm passionate. I'm passionate about this cause, and not just exposing Scientology, exposing cult mind control, healing from it. I'm passionate about charity. I run a charity, in my community. And, I thought about this, and this is something I want to stay aside. And then I want to get into the nitty gritty of showing the clip, talking about some things about culty behavior. If you saw my thumbnail, you kind of know what I'm going to talk about. But I just wanted to, preface this. And I want to see if I have that in the notes, because I'm not sure what I was going to. I'm sorry, guys. I am really all over the place. I got kind of thrown off. That's usually why, like, I usually take like a whole hour or more to kind of think about what I'm going to say before I come out, because I get like really all over the place. But Okay, I'll go into the clip and then I'll think about what I was gonna. I'm sure it'll come to me because I don't have a good outline today. So let me put this up. Okay, and I put on the captions because I want you to really pay attention to the words that Ximena is speaking here. And I'm going to play like a minute clip, and then I'm going to jump to another clip that's maybe about 3 minutes. Let me know if you can hear it. Okay.
Like it when chat got very spicy. So we were borderline on when we needed to do that comment or not. And Rachel was very good at it. She was one who we called the hammer, because she always was deleting comments. And that's how we controlled the chat. So for example, if she was having issues with, I don't know, her ex-husband, she was having these issues with him. And then if they were asking or saying things about him, some of them could pass and some of them wouldn't, because she didn't want to look horrible, but she was actually saying horrible things about him on stage. So there was this double narrative on when we need to support and we need to control what she's saying and only what she controls, and it gets you in this mindset that she's in danger. And she also had us whistleblowing without, like, and I want to say, she didn't explicitly said this to anyone. There's no rule where she came and said, hey guys, I need you to whistleblow with, like, who is the most among you guys. But the things that happened and the mindset, she never stopped it. And she saw that. She saw that there were some, like she said, gossip behind the scenes that it needs to stop, and she needed to do some house cleaning. And she said that when Rachel left the chat. And I'm going to show that receipt also, because that's what she was saying.
Okay, so she sets that up. So that takes about a minute or so. So I'm going to skip. But can everybody hear it okay? Everything good? Giorgio, can you hear it okay? Yeah, okay. All right. Let me skip to the next frame here.
Like, say an example, if when my ex-husband wanted a sandwich and he was like, I need a sandwich, I'm hungry, I just want a sandwich. And he didn't even ask, and I was already doing the sandwich because I knew he was going to get angry because there was nothing there. Then if I messed up or anything and I complained, he said, I didn't ask you to do anything. You said you wanted to fix the sandwich for me, so this is your fault. So you see, they are manipulating you. So you always are you're never the winner in any circumstance.
Okay, I'm going to back it up a little bit because I had another whole segment that I was going to play. 1 second. Oh, sorry, guys. I think I started at the end of my clip. I did. Okay, here we are.
To show them all because of I think we're going to focus on the story, but I just wanted to make sure that we have this mindset of how it became cultish. So, okay, see this one. So see, when Rachel left, she said, well, if the gossiping behind my back keeps up, I'm cleaning the house. I'm glad Rachel is gone. And John is causing issues. And this is right before we left. So she was in this mindset that we were in some campaign against her, and she needed to clean the house because no one's allowed to speak against the queen, right? So it's not explicitly said, but that's what it's implied. So we needed to be careful what we said. There was this woman, and that was a case that I think we all contributed to. I don't even know if that's her real name. She was a mod. She was there. And suddenly we started getting paranoid because I don't know why. We thought she was a mole. And we started investigating her. We started looking into her social media. We couldn't find anything. She was saying it was Osa. And suddenly one day she disappeared from the chat and she removed her from everything. And she was suddenly the enemy. And we were like, we contributed to that. And I don't even know if this woman was actually a bad person just because in one conversation that we had at night, she didn't show her face and this made her paranoid. And it is like she was sharing the nuclear codes of the nuclear war. And I don't know, because she was treating these confidential meetings that you can join and you can join, but you can't because you're new, but you can. So it gets you in this mindset that are cultish tactics. And maybe that's something she learned from Scientology, I don't know, but it gets you into us versus them mentality. It's us protecting her. And if anyone questions the leader, they become instantly haters or outsiders. And that's a mentality that it's a cultish mentality. And she also uses manipulation using fear or guilt. and she never explicitly tells you. And that's the trick. A good manipulator has to pass like he didn't or she didn't do anything. It's always you who interpret it.
Okay. I'm gonna. Okay. One point that really stuck out, a whole bunch of things on just these clips alone, but about what she said about not explicitly telling you what to do, but you kind of know because, sorry, I got distracted. I was going to read that and it went away. I'm really all over the place today, but I know what I want to say. It's just kind of like getting it from my heart to my words. John is a soul. Yeah, he really does. It absolutely broke my heart to hear him talk, and I want to speak to that as well. And I don't know, I don't think I saw him in here, but I definitely want to read your comments as I go along. I'll make this point, and then I want to read some of your comments because I know you guys can say it so much better than I can. But one thing that I could parallel from my own cult experience was the most insidious thing that about cults is they get you to feel, and cults of one, even, I know, abusive relationships, they get you to walking on eggshells and almost like brainwashing yourself. The most powerful brainwashing is when you brainwash yourself and you are self-censoring and you are kind of anticipating because it's the pain and pleasure principle. You don't want to have the pain of feeling like you failed that person. And the thing is, what makes them more important than anyone else? Like my cult leader, her name was Marlene. She love bombed the heck out of me for probably a solid year. And she seemed so smart and so loving and so inspirational and so like giving and understanding. And then when I started to see the mask slipping a little bit, I was already so taken with her that I would blame myself, and the cognitive dissonance, like I said yesterday, you can cut it with a knife when you're in that kind of situation. I was in a very similar situation, definitely more extreme, because I was living there and my whole life revolved around this woman and her quote principles. And she had the same principles as the IBLP. She followed Bill Goddard, if you've ever heard of the Duggars, 21 and Counting. That was the same cult handbook that she followed. She loved Bill Goddard. So we were in this, and it was like, you can't see the forest through the trees, or the fish don't know, and they're, what it's like, outside of the lake. It's like, yeah, I didn't realize that what was happening, and it happened gradually. And I wanted so badly to fit in and to be loved and to have that belonging and that community, that I would do anything. And it broke my heart to hear Ximena say, and Hockey Town John say, we would have done anything for her. And the way they provided that hedge of protection where they were scared for her. I know that feeling. I saw when she broke up with Tommy and she was right on screen acting like she was scared, and did it again. And then the next day it's like, oh, never mind. You guys are crazy, And so the thing that she was talking about, getting everyone to be terrified of Aaron. And then it's like, oh, I'll get him. And then the thing, I'm only saying it because it was brought public. And Ximena, I really respect her for, even though I don't think she was necessarily an Aaron fan at all, but because, she'd probably been turned against him, but just the drama that was being invited by having that woman, person, I won't call her that woman, but the troubled person in the chat. And Reese said on those screenshots, she didn't do anything to me. So that's what it was when people came to her. And I remember, and I won't call anybody out, but I remember people telling me kind of when this was starting to happen and people were coming to me about it. I was like, I'm not getting involved, but they would say, like, I've tried to talk to Reese, but if it doesn't hurt her, if it doesn't concern her, she doesn't care. So that's not really protecting your friends, your mods, your chat. It doesn't seem right. But hey, everyone, no regard for anyone but yourself. Yeah, I can't argue with that. And yeah, you could say that like that's like something that someone has to learn to not do. Well, yeah, but it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it okay. Hey, Hockey Town John, good to see you, friend. Thank you so much. I'm going to call you friend. I'm sorry. I know we haven't really talked offline, but I've watched your story, and I think you're a great person. Hey, Ximena, you're on your phone. That's okay. Good. Yeah, it's hard to tag everybody, I know, but hello. Yeah, I hear you, Rhonda. I have a 0 tolerance rule about emotional manipulation. It's too exhausting. Yeah, not true. So, I just want to pull up something. Sorry, one sec, guys. Let's see if I can find it. I just had a list, and I can get it. Actually, I can get it right off of my thumbnail. That's funny. It's pretty similar. All right. Why is my... Okay. So I'm just going to read this, and we can kind of break it down a little bit. So I had put up a list of some of the marks of things that you can look for. And I'm not saying that you guys were in a cult or anything, but it is pretty culty. Okay. Call it what you want. But when you have an authority, you have a charismatic leader. Not every charismatic leader is a cult leader. It's just, you can be charismatic without being abusive or being authoritarian or manipulative or whatever. And there's degrees of it too. There's degrees. But when people are scared and they're feeling like they can't be themselves, they can't speak out, they're doing this whole, actually, I'm just going to pull it up. It's on my Canva, but I can still pull it up. Sorry, guys. I hate the dead air. There it is. Okay. All right. So we got charismatic leader, authoritarian. That was kind of like my way or the highway, and I understand being a content creator. I mean, I have to kind of make guidelines for my channel, and I have, I think there's maybe 3 mods over the course of 2 years that, we just didn't see eye to eye on some things, and I tried to part ways in a very nice way, but it didn't work out that way. And they have spoken out about me, whatever. I mean, I have receipts that I certainly didn't control their life. I certainly didn't, and humiliate them in front of a whole thing. I didn't talk shit about them. They pretty much, they made it clear that they didn't believe in me. And why mod for someone if you don't, if you're going to go in other chats and talk shit about me? So, or be an ally to people who are literally calling me a piece of shit, telling me fuck you, or saying I'm a terrible person, and pretty much just buttering them up. That's not cool. But I'm not telling people, oh, that's my way or the highway. And I don't even really have a super active mod chat. And Aaron doesn't have one at all. It's just like, show up if you can. And, my mods can tell you I'm very disorganized. And in the morning, I'm like, okay, I'm going live in 2 hours. If you can't make it, it's fine. Oh, hey, Yukila, good to see you, honey. If you can, fine, it's okay. If I have no one come, especially when I do those vertical streams, I never ask, where were you or anything. Like, I know everyone has a life. And I've told them like last night and this morning, I'm like, if I'm culty, please just fire me. And I mean that. I really mean that, because I know what it's like to feel manipulated. And damn it, I don't want to do that to anyone else. And I don't want anyone else to do it to me. So I don't feel like I'm an influencer. I think I'm trying to educate myself, and maybe other people can learn, Lord Kiss Freak, that was very powerful. It was so powerful, and I think it can help other people. We need to talk about these things, guys. When this whole thing of like, no, you're just a hate channel and you're just talking trash about people. No, I mean, I have tried to talk to Reese. I showed you the receipts because she was kept calling me a hate bully troll channel. And I showed you, she came to me and I told her the truth. And then I went to her and she came to me, and yeah, she wouldn't listen. And now she's talking trash about me. I'm going to speak out. That's just how I roll. That's how I roll. So let me pull this back up here. Okay. So, we talked about authoritarian, like my way or the highway kind of thing. Hierarchy. Ximena and I think John both had described a hierarchy, like an inner circle and a top-down mentality. There's usually, in my cult, I mean, I hate to call this a cult, but there was a lieutenant. There was, I won't say their names because I feel like they were victims too, even though they delivered a lot of blows to other people, and they probably owe people an apology. But I'm talking about in my cult. But there were two older ladies that were like Marlene's snitches, and they would make decisions when she wasn't around, and they would tattle on us all the time, and we would be punished. I would be punished. It was usually like shunning or having some kind of extra work to do, or like you've heard stories about the Sea Org. It was pretty similar to the Sea Org, but it was a microcosm. It was only 50 people total at the most. Snitch culture. Yep. The snitch culture was real, and it instilled fear because it was like, I'm afraid to voice my opinion or to even be myself because someone's watching me and they're going to run to the leader. And we talked about, the shunning. It's like, if you don't agree, you're dead to me. You're gone. You're out. And this thing, I want to spend a little bit of time before I talk about the smear campaign type stuff. And I know Ximena mentioned that too, the us versus them. I think that is the most insidious thing about a cult or a abusive relationship or a cult-like atmosphere, is that whole thing. It's us against the world. And if you start a stream with, oh God, I know a lot of you are going to unsubscribe today because I'm getting attacked and I have so much, and everybody's like, no, here's money. We love you. We're not going to leave you. I've seen people devote, basically sign a billion-year contract right there in the Facebook group or in the chat. And it's like, I'm never going to leave you no matter what. It's like, oh, thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. Is that manipulative? You decide, and still in the back of my mind, it's like, oh, why are you saying this? Oh, you're being a hater. You're being so mean. Well, you know what? I'm saying this because there are so many people that have been affected by this and have been afraid to speak out. And I don't feel like I have anything to lose. It's like, well, what are they going to do? Try to cancel me? They can cancel me. It's okay. I don't even know who they is, but people that are trying to like expose me as a hater and in just this mean person, and how dare I say anything about a ex-Scientologist? Well, humans are humans, and right is right and wrong is wrong. What does that give you immunity? Because Hef and Kila, and I don't know any of the backgrounds of any of the other mods that came out, and Hef was never a mod, but devoted followers. Just because they're survivors of the wrong cult, does that make them second-class citizens? I don't think that's right, and I don't think that's fair. And if that is a prerequisite and a demand that you're not allowed to ever criticize anything the next Scientologist does, I don't think that's right. I'm not on a hate campaign. I'm certainly not trying to bring down ex-Scientologists. Absolutely not. But if I see people being hurt, people that are my friends, people that I'm close to, just because they are survivors of the wrong cult, come on, guys. That's That's fucked up. That's bullshit. You know, stop. That's gross. That's like, what is this? What is this hero worship? Just because somebody is, a baby out of the cult, I don't think that's right. I don't think it's fair. Aaron had, here, talk amongst yourselves for a minute. I'm going to try to find something to see if I can find it. Yesterday, Aaron did a stream. I'm sure many of you have seen it. I think they're still live now. They might be Aaron and Natalie, but he did a stream mostly about Tommy, why he stopped streaming with Tommy Scoville, aka Brett Miller, and he did bring in the the subject of Reese, because what he couldn't really talk about why he stopped streaming with Tommy and not talk about why he's streaming with Reese, and it wasn't because of Tommy, it was because of Tommy and Reese, but both on both ends. So I'm not sure I'll be able to, I might have to refer to this later, but there was a comment, and it's actually in the comments after the video, and someone said that basically what I've heard over and over and over and over, that, have some grace. She's just out of the cult. And, I'm not trying to make fun of her. I'm not saying, that that's not valid. But at the same time, Aaron, he listed a whole thing, and he just said she was declared 2 years ago. She'd been out of Scientology for many, many years. And she'd been married to two Neverends, and she'd worked in the real world. And he was like, that's not true. She'd been declared. She hadn't been a Scientologist for many, many years. So this whole excuse thing, it's like I said the other day, it doesn't excuse bad behavior. And it doesn't excuse what was done to these people. I'm sorry. It doesn't excuse lying and manipulation and smearing a good man's name. It doesn't. I love that he brought Brett's audios to light. Yeah. And what's funny is, like, I was talking to him backstage, I got shit like I always do. I haven't actually helped him backstage in weeks, but I did for this. He told me a few minutes before, and I was like, hey, you want me to jump back? He's like, yeah, that'd be great. So I hadn't talked to him in days. Like, he didn't know any of these videos that I've been doing. I certainly don't report to him. That's just ridiculous. But I had gotten busy. I'd had family things, and we hadn't really connected. And then we were backstage, and I said to him, because he's like, oh, I've got these audios, and he goes, compared to what I've heard, he's like, I listened to them back. At the time, I thought they were so like crazy and unhinged, but he's like, I listened to them back now, and he's like, oh, these are nothing compared to the stuff he's been sending out to women and the stuff that Reese had played. And I said to him afterwards, I was like, no, I said, I'm so glad you played those, because even though we toned it down a little bit for you, it shows even the manipulation and the long con of, like, I think he was trying to kind of feel Aaron out. Like, he wanted to be involved in shaping his channel. It sounded like he was fishing. Well, he did. He was like, oh, I know about this, have me on anytime, blah, blah, blah. And his attitude about, you need me. And my heart goes out to Reese, because to have somebody like that in your ear for a year and a half, when, I'm sorry guys, but she is she's not Lily White herself, and she is inclined to that type of thing. The whole crim. I mean, who hasn't been attracted to a bad boy once in their life? I was. Somebody actually looked a little bit like Tommy, but he had hair, but he had the same kind of bone structure and stuff, real thin, and that like really growly kind of. He was scary. I mean, I'm glad I got away from him. The voice notes were hilarious. Yeah. Okay. I want to. You know what I'll do? I'll go through the comments, because there's already like 40 starred, and I'll pick up as I go along some of the points that I wanted to make about being in a culty atmosphere, and what to do when things get culty, to have a healthy support system. and to be able to find your voice and to use it, you know. Keela, thank you all for connecting. Chosen family. Yeah. Love you, Keela. I'm glad you're here. Okay. Can we use a spatula? Of course. That's funny. Be nice to George. Okay, he's speaking for me. And he's saying thanks. All right, George. That's what I get for being late. Yes, George is back. Causing trouble. I really missed the mod banter. I know. I was telling Kelly, I was like, you need some British mods. Because she's like, my chat is so mellow. It's so like quiet. And I'm like, yeah, you need some British mods to do their banter back and forth. Team still. Aaron's stream was very eye-opening. Absolutely. Asen, why should anybody be above criticism or questioning? Yeah, and it's not for the purpose to destroy them. I think maybe people are used to being in a cult that just destroys people. Criticism is not like a death sentence, you know? It's like it's not hate, you know? I mean, it can be, but in this case, it's not. Hey, Chris Tenham. Merlin, you are amazing. So glad you chose to use your platform for good. Thank you. I hope so. That's what I really want to do. Ellen Ballantyne, it's about calling out those that deserve it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree. Destiny. Hey, Destiny, good to see you. You're not a never end. Why do I fucking cry all the time? You're a cult survivor. Yeah, it sucks. I'm trying to learn. Hey, Mark Hardman, good to see you. Thank you for sending me to Ximena's stream. Really love the content and great spirit there. Thank you for being here, Mark. And you are such a kind person. And I'm sure that this is probably so hard to listen to and confusing and all that. And listen, I love you no matter what you decide or don't decide. You don't have to. You can be here. You can be in Reese's chat. It doesn't matter. The thing is, I want people to be free to make up their own minds and to not make up their mind at all, but how am I going to say this? It sounds really stupid, but I know what I'm trying to say. Even if you make up your mind to not make up your mind, to me, that's making up that's your right? Like, okay, let me say it this way. If somebody decides that they want to stay in a relationship and you think it's not the best thing for them and you told them why and they said, okay, but I'm saying that's fine. But if you kind of ease your own conscience, like, okay, I said it, maybe I'm in the wrong, but I'm going to say it. And also, they talk about in a lot of these circles of like, how do you treat somebody who you feel is entering into something that's harmful for them? You love them and you still listen to them and you're there for them. And it's not conditional, because a lot of the things that you're trying to maybe quote save them from is a controlling, conditional situation, right? So don't be controlling and don't make it conditional. Does that make any sense? James Steele, Alan Ballantyne, you are a true gentleman. I agree with that. He really is. And he and Hev are just some of the best people I've ever met. They're exactly how they are in the chat and online. They are in person. I've spent a lot of time with them and they are just so kind, hilarious. Tell you, Alan will like fall over himself to open a door for anybody. He's just such a nice guy. He won't let Hef do anything because she's just like, let me do stuff. It's so cute how they fight over who's gonna, do the dishes or something. It's just really, really cute. And then enter Duncan in the mix. He's very nurturing too. So that's how they are. I love it. Hey, James Still, all my favorite people in my favorite place. Oh, I love that. That's sweet. I don't know. You get the award for the best internet name. Heat my shorts. Oh, freaking love that. All right. I went all the way up so that I can go down and pick out things as I see them. It's very oh my God, I did too. Hockeytown John. I cried for Hockeytown John. What was done to him was truly awful. Yeah. Yeah. And I can see, like he said, he was so raw and so open and so honest. And he said, I know this doesn't look good. Like things were picked out and taken out of context, but then the receipts don't lie. He was told, hey, it's okay. Hey, and it was presented as if he was forcing himself into the situation and that he was planning things and not consulting anyone. No, it was right there in black and white. It was like, oh yeah, okay, I'll help you find a hotel. Okay, yeah, let's do this. And it was very copacetic until it wasn't, and to use a platform, a huge platform of 20,000 people to essentially destroy a good man's reputation just because that person is an ex-Scientologist. You're not allowed to say that's not right. That's bullshit. It's bullshit. I think he deserves to be able to speak his truth. And that's the truth. Asen, we all are almost all here because we are traumatized and scarred. Anybody who has a legitimate concern should be able to question better an ex or never in. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm certainly not on a campaign to hurt never in, hurt anybody. And definitely not ex-Scientologists. The half. Marilyn, I told you before, I totally understood. I couldn't have done that live 9 months ago. I could have done the live 9 months ago, but didn't because of the foundation. Yeah. You made a sacrifice. You sacrificed your own self for a charity and for the cause of the ex-Scientologists that we're here to support. I mean, you heard Aaron say today is like there's the ex-Scientologists telling their story, and then there's the never-ends who are here to support them. And I'll say there's a third category is just like, and it kind of interweaves, is people being people here for each other and learning and growing together, Hey, Thompson just dropped in. Hi there. It's been a while. I'm just going down the chat. Girl in the dark. I'm so glad you're here, honey. Glad to see you. Broken dishes, not a competition. So right, exactly. It's not a competition. Ben Bacon Bits, cult expert Rick Ross equates cults to narcissists and a lot of people recovering from exposure to them. Yeah. It is it's very similar. I mean, my cult leader, Marlene, was definitely a narcissist and in every sense of the word. Absolutely. And she was very manipulative. I mean, she would make you feel sorry for her. She would twist things and make you think that you were in the wrong. She would justify things. Like, it's crazy because we were all living on like a shoestring and giving all of our money to the cult. I was wearing hand-me-downs. My kids were, they had their needs met, but we were definitely not living high off the hog. That's for damn sure. And she had a whole closet full of London Fog coats, LL Bean and Land's End outfits and the best shoes and the best makeup and the Mary Kay and all that stuff. And she'd be like, well, I give everything to the Lord. And she's like, these are all gifts. I didn't ask for anything. Well, she kind of did, because she would, like, February 25th was her birthday. It was like a national holiday. It was like, it was like, LRH's birthday. And we would all like trip over each other to get her something. She did not shy away from giving us a whole list of everything she wanted. She got everything on that list because we all loved her. We all wanted her to have nice things. We didn't have any nice things, and we wanted her to have nice things. Her own granddaughter didn't even have a winter coat. And you know what she told her daughter-in-law? That she thought that the Lord wanted them to go without so that her son, who was a piece of shit, would, and I don't say that lightly, I never say that, but he was, and was cheating on her, was on drugs and everything else, and that he would repent so that he could take over the ministry and be the minister. He wasn't even holding a job. How could he take over a whole community of people? Crazy. It was just crazy. But it was that thing, that cognitive dissonance. And when I tell my whole story, one of the things that come up when people ask me, what was the breaking point? What was the thing? And I'll ask some of you that were talking last night, even, what was the thing that was like, that's it, like the straw that broke the camel's back, you know? And sometimes it can be like the smallest thing or the thing you wouldn't think it would be, or just, yeah, for me, it was the damn paint color. If anybody has heard my story, it was Marlene, like, expecting all of us to give up everything. And Duncan had given up a chunk of his inheritance to help them buy this building she was moving into as a home, and having like a home Bible study as like a quote church, not paying taxes, hasn't paid taxes in the 25 years that she's owned it, on our dime. And another man that gave up his pension, an old elderly man. So she had Duncan go in there and paint all the rooms. Didn't like the shade. He had to go in and paint them all again. Didn't like the shade. He wanted to paint, and you know what? Something about that, I fucking snapped. And I was like, he spent all of these hours away from us, away from his kids. He was working full time, an hour and a half away. He was gone like 12 hours a day, and then had to go up there and change her damn paint color. And when I told, I think it was Roberta Blevins. She's like, hasn't she ever even heard of swatches? I'm like, yeah, I don't know why, but it was that princess mentality, that narcissistic, self-centered, entitled bullshit, where we were all there to serve her and her family. Her family were the top of the hierarchy with her lieutenants. And then there was us, her servants. And then there was the people that would like her audience, right? So think of it as a content creator, right? You've got the content creator and then her loved ones, say they have kids or whatever, right? That you're showering love and gifts and money and all that on, right? And then you've got the people that are kind of the enforcers that are like at the top, right? That are whatever, you know, and hopefully most content creators aren't like this. Certainly isn't like this in my universe. Absolutely not. But, and I wouldn't let it be, but you got that. And then you got, say, the mods that help out or whatever. In this case, sound like it was pretty culty. And then you've got all the viewers. You've got the masses. They don't know. The masses don't know what's going on. You know, they just think that they're there to heal and to talk about things and to be just like with our church, with Door of Hope. There were parishioners that had no idea that some of us were wanting to unalive ourselves. Some of us were starving. Some of us were ready to just completely have a nervous breakdown. And some of us did. And some of us were in the hospital, and she lied about where we were. And then if any of us left, we were anathema. It was like, oh my God, they're going to hell. They're going to be on the dung heap. And she would defame and destroy our reputations. She would tell people that we were horrible people. She would make shit up and lie about us. And it was so sad because I invested so much time and money and love and emotion into it. And I'll be damned if I see something, those little warning signs, and don't say anything, you know, and don't help. Like, what am I even here for if not to speak out about cult mind control? And that's what I speak out about. And I'm not here to destroy anybody's channel. I'm not here to tear anybody down, but I'm also not going to stand by and let people be hurt just because they're not ex-psychologists. Come on. Even I would say even more so if someone doesn't have a huge platform to defend themselves. I promoted their channel, Ximena's channel. She had a right to talk. She had a right to speak, and so did Hockeytown John and all the others. That's why I promoted their channel. And that's why I played a clip, because they deserve to be heard. And if people hate me for it, it's fine. I'm not saying that for sympathy. People really do. I've been getting it left and right, but am I going to shrink away because they hurt my feelings, because there's people that don't like me? No, I'm not going to shrink from it. Hey, Lori Sue, regardless of the name of the cult and its origins, common themes are pervasive. These themes are broad-reaching, and others are able to identify and relate on differing levels. All viable. Yeah, agree. And I think that's why we can all relate to each other to some level, whether we've been in Scientology or another cult or some kind of abusive relationship or some kind of culty. I think we've all been touched by some type of controlled environment where you felt like uncomfortable, like you're not being able to be yourself. And a lot of us, have, and some of us fell into it even deeper, and some were able to get out, Girl in the dark. Yes, Ximena is such a genuine soul. She absolutely is. And my husband, who doesn't really watch much SPTV, I'll be honest, guys, he really doesn't. He watched all of Ximena and Hockeytown John's presentation last night. He did. He said, "Oh, I went to the bathroom." He said, "I was listening to AA Rod, and he was yelling about something." And he's like, and the horns were honking. I'm like, "Oh my God, yeah." I listened to Aaron after it was had to be 1:00 in the morning, and we're baby, we have two Poms, and then we're babysitting Apollo's full brother Punchy. So I have three Poms, and Rocky is he's such a little shit. I had the stream going, and every time he heard the horn honk on the stream, he was like, "Rah!" And then he got the whole Pom chorus going. So I had to finish watching it this morning because I didn't want to wake Duncan up. Oh, it was so silly. CO Bell, the don't criticize second gens thing seems downstream from the older don't criticize fellow critics mindset. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's a good technical rule of thumb, not a moral absolute. You handle this perfectly. Thank you, CO Bell. And I appreciate you saying that, because I really care about what you think. CO Bell, he's a real person and he's very cool, and he's a stand-up guy. Okay. Hey, Martha. COVID and the internet created a phenomenon of people reaching out, yet also vulnerable. Is it vulnerable or venerable? Predators always, whatever the platform. Yeah, it's true. That is a really good point, because you got to be careful. You got to be careful, because we're all looking for some type of belonging, right? That's a need, I think, that is inherent in us. And I don't know how many of you saw, well, about 400 people saw the stream that I did with Mark Torrey this week. I'm asking him to come back next week. We're doing historical stuff. I love it. I eat it up. I just think it's just so fascinating. But he's done other things. He's very, very smart. He does these studies of history and also how they apply to this, present time. And he did a study on tribalism. And I think that's very fascinating. And it's very applicable. I like to talk about things that are kind of applicable that we can learn from in our own life. And the tribalism subject is definitely timely. So I asked him this morning, I sent him a text. I was like, hey, I know, I was like, do you mind coming back again this soon? Because we talked about doing something once a month, but I was like, I really want to do this, and you know so much about it. So he's like, sure. So sometime this week, I'll make the announcement. I'll let you know. But Mark Torrey will be back to dive into tribalism and how the history of it and what it means to us, and yeah. I just think it's very interesting. The whole human, the whole like human condition of it all, human behavior, it just really fascinates me. And that's what I like to talk about a lot, is like why we do things and how people do get into these culty type situations and how to get out of them and how to function in the real world. I've had to really teach myself, you know. And I think that listening to others is the best way I learn. Force of delightful nature. When certain people are mistreating others and using their background and our status as a shield, it doesn't make it okay. 100%. Yeah, I agree. Hasten, I'm so sad that I lost contact with so many good people because of all this mess, and I'm glad that I see them come back here. Yeah, I know, and I still miss some of the people that I don't see anymore. Sad. I hope they come. Yeah, I hope they at least feel free to, you know, be friends or be in both chats. I don't know. I just hope. Hey, Chetto, good to see you. And, oh, what do you guys do? Oh, yeah, sorry. I waited 2 hours. That was, oh, she was still on. Oh, my goodness. Sorry. I did give her 2 hours. Hey, you're not irrelevant in anyone's chat. Just one of the masses with an opinion. Hey, you're welcome here, and you're welcome to voice your opinion. Nobody is a nobody here. Hey, Patty Collins, good to see you. Someone saying hi to Nancy. Hi, Nancy. Love ya. Who am I missing? Did I say hi to Lord Kiss Freak? I might have, but I just say hi to. I love that name too. It almost rivals the Heat My Shorts, but those are both really great. Okay, I'm gonna scroll down. Ashley, Reese is charismatic and can tell a good story. Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as it's not misused, right? Flick Fox, manipulators can also hide in plain sight, joking about being a narcissist or a psychopath or a cult leader. Yeah, that's true. Or wearing hats to say cult leader. Just saying. Yeah. I mean, I do love sense of humor, and I do love some dark humor. As you can see from my emojis, if you're a member, you definitely see that. I mean, I do I do like to joke about things like dumpster fires, you know. But and I like to crochet them. But yeah, I think that at one point, like if you're deflecting and calling other people narcissists when you're really a narcissist, that's bullshit. And yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be going around bragging that I'm a cult leader. I think that's a little, I don't know, a little off, but that's just me. Hey, Kitty Jones, good to see you. I used to really enjoy your assassin stories. Used to help me sometimes. Yeah, it all went. Yeah, it's sad. I did too. I streamed with her like 5 times. I thought we were friends. Yeah. I think where we kind of fell off was the Tommy thing. And how he talked to her, just I couldn't. I just couldn't. Girl in the Dark, from what I understand, all the mods were told without being told to turn. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And that was the thing, too, is like, I've been consistently friends with Aaron. He's never thrown me under the bus or like, you know, made me turn against anybody. Honestly, he really hasn't. I've been friends with a lot of people that he's had falling outs with, and he doesn't care. He really doesn't. I mean, I'm still to this day friends with people that he doesn't talk to or doesn't like or whatever, and they don't like him. Who cares? You know, I'm still friends with them. But yeah, with Reese, it was kind of like, who do we like now? It's like, who do we hate? Okay. And then it was like, oh, then now we like him again. It was like Aaron was back and forth with him. It's just crazy. Okay. Now, when I see stuff like this, like, are you telling me that I'm being drama? I don't know. Like there's all these like things that are like, don't feed the trolls, don't be a drama llama. It's like, okay, well, I don't think speaking truth is drama. So I'm just curious. Like, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that means, but I just thought I'd put up there. No offense to the person that said it. It's just, yeah, there just seems to be this theme of like, shh, don't say anything, you know, and that's, yeah, that makes me want to talk even more. So, yeah. But again, no offense. I don't even know who said that. I just kind of popped it up. No regard for anyone. Yeah. And that's, I don't know. That's not okay. Ximena, thank you for this, Marilyn. I really appreciate you helping us raise awareness. My pleasure. And it wasn't Ximena, but someone messaged me this morning. It was like, are you sure you want to do this? You're going to get attacked. And I was like, I don't give a fuck at this point. Like, I mean, I do to a degree. Like, it's not fun. It's not fun to be attacked. But at the same time, consider the source, right? It's like, if they're attacking me, hopefully they're leaving somebody else alone. And also, I think it's worth it if people are warned and other people who are victims feel vindicated and are able to speak their truth, you know? And if I can help that, if I can help them do that, then it's worth it. Hey, May Danger. Woo! I caught a light. Oh, awesome. Glad you're here. It's been a while. Yeah. Hey, Major. I could change my name. Oh, you're the one that said it? Oh, okay. No, I wasn't. No offense to you. I should crochet some llamas. That would be fun. Some drama llamas. I bet that would be really cute. I'll have to look up some patterns. I mean, maybe I could make my own, but interesting. Force's delightful nature. I want to believe that everyone is capable of being good to self and others, but it doesn't mean that I overlook bad behaviors that hurt and manipulate people. Yeah, and I think that if you're having grace for one person, doesn't mean you can't have grace for the people that one person hurt, you know? It's very black and white with this. It's like, no, I'm sorry. I'm not going to blindly follow somebody who has hurt some people. Yeah. Hey, Pat, I stuck up for Reese, asked everyone to be kind and forgiving, but I'm really upset about all the lies and manipulation that went on behind the scenes and online. And that is so fair. And I think that the degree of gaslighting and lying and manipulating and attacking people that were telling the truth, like Aaron said yesterday, it was extreme. And calling them trash and all this, it's like, that's wrong. And I'm sure that there's people that were just viewers that feel now, seeing that they had been, had believed her and bought it hook, line, and sinker. Don't they feel? I mean, I would feel a little bit disenfranchised. I would feel a little bit defrauded. She lied to people. Just don't say anything. You don't have to weave a whole elaborate story. Just don't say anything. It's crazy. Doesn't make any sense. Late night finish for me, listening on a London bus. Hey, sweetie. Good to see you. Oh, wow, it is late. Oh, my goodness. You've been working your bejeebers off. I love you, honey. Glad you stopped in. Ashley, I was wondering where the main players went. Hef, Keela, Blake, Ximena, etc. It was so suspicious. I'm glad you said that. I'm really glad you said that because this is something that happened to me. And Duncan, of course, especially Duncan and my kids, we were very active at Door of Hope. We did a lot, like every Sunday, even when we moved out and got married, I would make casseroles and we were there to support, and we would clean the sanctuary. Duncan would do a ton of about the painting, all the maintenance. We were really, really involved. We really gave our all to serve, serve God. We thought we were being good Christians and serving Marlene and in the cause and Door of Hope and all that. When we left a big hole. We faithfully gave way more than 10%. And we were there helping. I know we left a big hole. And when people that knew us or that had like maybe kind of drifted off and came back and was like, where's the Honigs? It was like, shh, like we were, no, you did not ask. You did not ask. And the reason I know that is because one of my sons, his girlfriend, did go to that church for a while after we left. And she knew who we were, and she'd ask her mom, like, where's Carter and Austin and Haley and all that? And she's like, I don't know. I asked Marlene, and she won't talk about it. Like, we were just, because they didn't want anybody to know why we left. Lori Sue, only those who stroked Reese's ego were acceptable in her chat. Original thoughts were not allowed. One was denigrated and humiliated while her minions followed suit. Yeah. And the reason I read that is because I'm not trying to talk shit, but I saw it with my own eyes, and I have seen it with my own eyes. Yeah. Hey, Hockey John, glad you're here. And Keela, hope you're feeling better. Absolutely. And I hope that, John, I hope that you feel better telling your story, because I know that couldn't have been easy. That was just so heartbreaking. But thank you for being so vulnerable. And I believe you. And it made total sense to me. I believe you. I know, Kelly, you sounded sick last night. Just please rest. Rest your voice too, honey. Yes, I am. Mr. Manager's always like, oh, I gotta set my alarm. I'm like, no, you don't have to set your alarm. Just if you're finally showing up. Oh my goodness. Yeah. I'm sorry, honey. Right. Yeah. It's like House of Matrix Rabbit. My mods, whoever comes, yeah, they come. If not, I do it myself. Exactly. Yeah. Oh, jeez. Here we go. George Massey, Maryland doesn't meet you up at all. No comment. That's a whole different state spirit. Yeah. Okay. Like, we have this joke. I'm gonna let him in on a little bit of friendship goss, right? Because I mean, George and Stace, they're not real, and have like I've seen them all except for Stace in person, but I talk to Stace every day, and I said, if anything, it's a Stace cult. I was like joking about getting those like pink satin, is it from Greece? Those pink satin jackets that says instead of pink ladies or whatever, it says the Staces, like the Heathers. Remember the Heathers on that movie? And George is like, does it come in blue? They were like, oh well, purple, but it's definitely not a Maryland cult. It's a Stace cult, that's for sure. What do you think, Mischief Managed? The cult of Stace? Because there's two of them, the Staces. Ashley, do you think they took on Tommy's tactic of calling everyone haters? Well, I'm sure he was whispering, not even whispering, growling into her ear for a year and a half. So yeah, I would think she would have adopted some of his lingo, But I think it's also human nature to just be very defensive. And what's the easiest thing? Call everybody haters. Like Aaron said yesterday, what was the easiest thing? Blame it on Aaron. Everybody else blames everything on Aaron. Why not blame it? And Aaron is absolutely 100% right that it was him protecting her for 9 months. She had it wrong. She definitely had it wrong. Ximena, I've never been hateful towards her, and I genuinely hope one day she opens her eyes and heals. Yeah, absolutely. And Ximena, I think that you handled it with a lot of grace and kindness, and took you a long time to, I'm sure, to be able to be on camera and voice it. But I remember that letter that you wrote and read it. And I'll be honest, I was like, oh, read it. Oh, like, oh, but you made a good point, and I get it. I totally get it. Where else were you going to be heard? Because you didn't have a big platform like she did, but she could drag everybody. And yeah, I feel like even with Hef and Ellen, I was like, oh, you can use, and I knew them because I been friends with them for a long time and seen them in person for many days on end, and they've stayed in my home, that I was like, why wouldn't I invite them on to interview them? And I'm glad we did, because it seems like it gave people the courage to tell their story too. They weren't alone, Ashley, I'm kind of scared how much I was fooled. I want to think it had to do with Tommy, but I don't know. Well, yeah, I mean, I don't know the motivation, but at the same time, it's like we can all learn, right? You can protect yourself and learn the signs for next time. That's what I try to do. Yeah, people speculating about whether they're together, whether they're getting back together. I don't know. I'm not good at that. I don't really, I'm not good at predicting that kind of stuff. It'll be interesting to see. I think that unless Reese has a change of heart, she'll probably come back and find a way to spin it. There's always going to be people that will listen and that will want to protect her. There were in Natalie's chat this morning, and like I said, low key attacking me, and that's okay. But they can ask questions. I can ask questions too. Half. She just found the half. I got to call her the half now. You got to change it to the half, just temporarily. I love that. She just found a like-minded con artist in Tommy and just made her own con flourish. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, this is a good point. Girl in the dark. I know exactly how you feel. It's something that comes with time and reflection within. It feels wrong. If it feels wrong, it probably is. Yep. Yep. And if it's too good to be true, it probably isn't true, right? Watch out for that. Hey, Ann Hummingbird, glad you're here. Long distance birthday surprises for my happy birthday to your granddaughter. Hey, Kenny. Hey, good to see you. Who you got? Is it Brassy? Good to see you. Girl in dark. Gaslighting, period. Yeah. I didn't even really hardly look at my notes at all. I had some in my phone, but yeah. One second. Sorry, guys. Anyways. Hey, Susie Q, good to see you. It's been a little while. What's up? Kim Paulson, being critical or applying critical thought is not hate. Just scrolling. Hey, Kayla, thank you for the super chat. You don't have to do that, honey. Just because you have a crappy childhood doesn't give you permission to treat people like dirt under the feet. Yep. Okay. Hey, Jenny's here. Good to see you, Jenny. Personally, I think Marissa and Brett are working in tandem. They are both con artists, and they will be back together eventually. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that's so it's so sad to see, I hope it doesn't happen, because I do wish her the best. And I think that she's redeemable. I think everybody is. Tommy, it would take a lot. I would never, ever, I would never interact with him again, ever, in any way. Just my personal opinion. Kim Paulson says, Ximena, thank you for being a badass with John. I know you don't want to make your channel about that, but it was probably like grounding to get that out. Yeah. Jenny's here. Ximena, thank you for platforming Hockey Town John last night. It was great to finally hear the truth. Yeah, definitely. Alan Ballantyne, there were a few that were there from the start. This is Lord Kiss Freak, Charlie, myself, and a few others. None are left. Wow. We believed in him and the boat. It's sad to be honest. The idea was a great one. Yeah, it really was. Yeah, and it sounds like you have your own mini group now. Survivors of addiction, right? The lifeboat. The dinghy, is that what you call it? I love it. Pat Watson, Aaron's stream was what got me to the point that they are terrible, disrespectful people, all the lies and deceit. Yeah, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that feel, like I said, very defrauded, very deceived. And I don't know how to come back from how she would come back from this. Like, I don't know. You have to, a lot of humility, I would think, Raquel, Aaron got conned by Tommy too. He saw how many subscribers Aaron had and wanted a piece of that. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Pizza. Hey, David. Good to see you. Glad you're here. Ashley, I like how Aaron clarified that Tommy talks differently to him as a bro. And women sick. Yeah, it is really sick. 1 second, guys. Sorry. Ximena, friends should be allowed to voice their concerns without having fear to be called a hater. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And this whole, again, the all or nothing thing, it's like, I don't have to agree. I hope that all of you don't always agree with me all the time. That would be scary. Hey, hey, Ron. Thank you for being here. Oh my God, I want to cry. Hey, Aaron, if you're listening, you're probably on the go. We started this by talking about, of course, I was listening to your chat, and there was a question, and I know there were hundreds of questions, so you didn't get to answer this, but there was a question that was brought up by a huge Reese fan. It was low key against me, but it was asked, as Scientologists, do you think it's okay, or is it not okay for Never Ends to criticize, and choose the word criticize, to criticize ex-Scientologists? Now, you said yesterday, and I've talked about this, that the reason why I waited 9 months to come out and talk about this, let my friends use my platform, is because Reese is a second gen. So because she was an ex-Scientologist, and she's a second gen, I kept my mouth shut for the sake of the foundation, for the sake of our friendship, Aaron. I'm like talking your ear off on screen. This is a little bit weird because I would usually just call you about this, but since you're here, I'm just curious what you would have to say if you have, the ability to even just say a line. Yeah, I would think that like Hef and Keela are the two friends that I was keeping, like a secret. Like I wasn't defending them publicly, which I really wanted to, but they're both cult survivors too. They were from the same cult background as me, charismatic Pentecostal and fundamental Christianity, and they had been abused and oppressed and all that. So is it because they were from a different cult? Like, I'm not saying you, but I'm just saying, like, there's this whole thing of Never Ends are second class. And I'm not here to attack. I'm not like certain people just saying, oh, these ex-Scientologists are bad actors. No, I've raised money. I really do support. I am one of the allies. But at the same time, if I'm seeing my friends be hurt and like just degraded and defamed and called trash and all that, at some point, it took 9 months, but at some point it was time to speak up. So I think I know what you'd say, Aaron, but hey, since you said hey in the chat, I thought I'd throw that out. If you don't get to comment, that's okay. We'll talk later. But yeah, I think the answer hopefully would be obvious, that nobody's better than anybody else. And at some point it is okay to protect people, even though they're never ends, even if they're never ends. So yeah. Okay. Girl in the dark. Reese let everyone know why her mods left in a lying way, but she let the 20,000 people know. Yeah. And that's why the mods needed to have the right, they did have the right and the opportunity that they took, which was great, to tell their story. Yeah. Hey, Kathy Mitchell, thank you for the space. My heart is on overload with the pain of all these people that she has hurt. I send love to all. Last night I cried along with Hockeytown John. Healing hugs. I'm going to just text him one quick line. Sorry, because he texted me. Okay. All right, guys, we're casual here. We're casual today. I told you from the beginning that today was going to be different. I'm all over the place. My hair's a mess. It's Saturday. I don't know what's happening here. Kitty Jones, we cost good. Yeah. Ashley, he also talks so badly about using the C word, and that's all he uses to talk about women and supporters. I don't know who you're talking about. I hope not. Was awakened by the looking glass. Okay, you said definitely not. Never ends are not second-class citizens. I love it. Thank you for being there when I needed a space and for welcoming all of us in like you have. We have a home again. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. She is so, yeah. I felt that way. Thank you for saying that, because I felt that way watching last night. That it was like, yeah, everybody was just feeling so safe, and it was like a homecoming, kind of like when I see the ex-lifeboaters get together. I think that there's definitely some survivors of a lot of things going on. And her chat was in her space, so people were jumping on and doing a panel, and yeah, it was very loving. It was very sweet. Thank you for doing that, Keela. Mental block. I think calling everyone haters is widespread in online communities. Yeah, well, yeah, Marlene was like that too, and we weren't online at all, but it was like that us against them, right? It's like, oh, they don't understand. They're of the devil. She used the word of the phrase of the devil a lot, or they're of the flesh. They're sinners. They're possessed with demons. They're evil. They're fallen. Oh God, what else she said? She called them carnal, which meant fleshly, not heavenly. It was like it was the us against them. It was the us and them. Yeah. Oh, my kids are texting me. Okay, everybody's good. I gotta let the dogs out soon. Oh, we're already going for an hour and a half almost. All right. See you later. Thank you for being here, Ximena. You're here. Oh my God, Lathanda's here. Oh, hey, honey. Thank you so much for the gifted memberships. It's raining cups. Hallelujah. It's raining cups. Amen. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Seal claps. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Can't wait for the wedding. Marilyn, you need to let us. Oh my God. Well, that's up to Hef and Alan. You're talking about Hef and Alan, I assume. That's up to them, but oh my God, yeah, that will be an event. That'll be awesome. Oh, Knick Knack, No Knack. Hey there, member for 10 months. Thank you so much for being a member for 10 months. Marilyn, you're a safe place for me. Thank you. And it was really nice to meet you in the live stream that we did. I had we'll do that again. We did a members, like a panel, I guess we call it a panel. I just put the link in the chat and people came on and said hi. That was the first time we actually had our friend Joel McCoy on screen. It was amazing. I got to do that again very soon. Yeah. Ellen Valentine, I didn't announce my departure when I left. I assume you mean the lifeboat. I was angry and hurt. I still am, but it's been hard. Luckily, I have to talk to you about it. Yeah. She's awesome to talk to about things like that. Absolutely. Speaking of Joel, thank you so much for the super chat. In the time I've known you, I have seen growth as a person. Proud of you, Maz. Thank you. Maz is my nickname. I think that it was actually Chow Yun Smut, Cricket. Some of you know Cricket. She dubbed me Maz, and it stuck. Totally stuck. Did I read this? Hello, I just finished watching the replay of Ximena and John. I'm now catching up 2 speed here. Thanks for talking about the truth coming out. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's like, it's sometimes hard to know, but it's like, it's my channel. And obviously, there's people that want to talk about it, and we talk about things. It's kind of like how I started. And it's not about drama and bashing people, though people think, this is a drama channel. We talk about a lot of different things. We don't just talk about what's going on in the community, but we do talk about what's going on in the community. Maybe I have a different spin on it than other people that report just the news, but yeah, I guess I like to learn from things, and I think it's okay to talk about things. Thank you, Alan. Marilyn, you've been very supportive of us and a great friend. We love you. Love you too. Thank you for being patient with me while I was coming around, Magic of healing. Trauma explains behavior. It doesn't excuse it. 100%. 100%. Yeah, and it doesn't make it okay. It doesn't slough over if you're, the fact that people get hurt sometimes and they have to take accountability. Ben Bacon Bits, the thing was John's apology was authentic compared to someone else's. Yeah. He's very authentic. Yeah. Alan Valentine, it's been so heartwarming to see all of the lifeboat people come together again. I know. I loved that. Seeing like a reunion is great. I feel the same way, Asen. It's okay. I mean, better late than never, right? And then I'm ashamed it took me so long. I regret that deeply. Asen, you have been such a supportive part of this community and of Reese's chat and her community. I mean, don't feel bad. You've been a wonderful support to everyone. Kristen, I hope all victims of R&T feel better knowing so many support them. Their so-called fans are also their victims. Toxic, putting it mildly. And Chris, I know you were a huge supporter of her as well. And I thank you for having the courage to speak out about it. It, definitely takes courage. It takes a village. It takes, strength in numbers, and hopefully it won't happen again. People can learn from this. Jojo, it felt that poor guy, Hockeytown John, was chucked under the bus. Was sad to see. Jenny's here. Hey, Jenny's here. I love that. Jenny's here. Ximena, thank you for platforming Hockeytown John last night. It was great to finally hear the truth. I think I might have read that one, but I'll read it again for those in the back. Hey, CJ, good to see you. Welcome, welcome. So happy to have found your channel. I love that you want everyone to be free to decide who they want to watch with no judgments. Yeah, absolutely. And I won't. I don't watch Reese really much at all. But if I were to see one of you in there, I'm not going to be like, oh my God, and have my mods like scour the chats and see, oh, this one is in that. I was like, whatever. The only way I would be like concerned is my concern, like I told you, I had a friend that I knew was on disability and she couldn't afford to be sending super chats. And I'm not judging. It's just that she told me she had $5 in her account. I did a fundraiser, and then she turns around and giving stuff to Reese. Like, Reese does not need it. Keep it. Yeah. And that's, I think that the receipts that were shown last night were so telling, and it wasn't in a hateful way. It was like, we're just presenting the truth. This is what was said, and this is really what was happening. And they didn't match up. And I hope people will listen and decide for themselves. That's all. That's all I can ask, you know. Huggytown John, Marilyn, and Hev, I'm so sorry you went through all that. You went through that, but it's so wonderful to see the people you've become in spite of it all. And same to you. Thank you for being so honest and vulnerable. I'll say it again. It's amazing. All right, one sec. Let's do a Xenia Marlene. We can think of our late friend Doug. That was the other thing, was when this whole cruise idea came up, Cricket decided to name it the Xenia Marlene, not in honor of me, but in honor of our friend that we lost in this community, Doug Scott Kramer, who was a second gen and a gem to many of us. And he came up with this Xenia Marlene thing when I was telling my story, and it was very heartbreaking and hard to get out. And whenever I would start to choke up and it would be an awkward moment, he would put up this overlay that Kelly made for us, the Xenia Marlene. He liked to partake. He liked to choke a little bit. And I usually had either coffee or tea or sometimes wine or whatever. And, or, you know, like Turkin says, oh, if you got a cracker, a chip, a Tic Tac, whatever. But anyways, cheers. I got my tea. It's a little cold now, but my don't burn my biscuits mug. Oh, that's better. Nothing like Yorkshire tea. I love it. Tony Hoban, that was an amazing stream last night, Ximena and John. I had to watch most of it on the replay, but would have sent you both positive vibes if I had seen it in the live chat. Yeah, it was amazing. Hey, Doug, so glad you're here. Marilyn, you have been the light and shining in the dark. Those in the dark always attack the one who shines the most. Never extinguish your flame because we need it. You're our nightlight. Oh, I don't really consider myself that, but you guys give me strength, and we're all in this together, right? Jojo, Marilyn, and all the X mods should do fun game nights. We would love it. All right. I'm not really good at organizing stuff, but if somebody wants to organize it, I would be all for that. Yeah. Alan Valentine, when I stayed with him, all he cared about was the view count and the subs. Yeah. And I think that was pretty evident by listening to those voice memos that Aaron played yesterday. It was just, and Aaron, I think I said this like later on, he was like, oh, I don't know. These didn't seem like, I was like, no, they made a big impact. They really did. At least for me. Yeah. Jessica, what have you been? So I've been awful. When I went on the trip to see Hef and Alan, and then eventually Clearwater Chad, I was working on those little mini Rodneys. I don't have them in here. I still have a whole bunch of stuff I got to put together. I just haven't been, I got to calm the fuck down and do some crocheting. Maybe I'm going to try to do some this weekend. But what are you guys working on? Anybody working on any crafts? I should crochet. Although when I'm clicking and stuff, it's hard to do. But if I'm just chatting, we'll do that very soon. Jessica, I just watched the Alan and Hef video yesterday. Thank you for sharing and being vulnerable. I was so shocked. Yeah, they did a really good job laying it out. And I know that it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun for them. It's not like, oh yeah, let's expose Reese and Tommy. It was like, oh, this is tough. They were willing to do it. They were very brave. And I just love them to pieces. They're just such great people. Have she like that you were my friend as well? Rolling Ross. Yeah. Hef's been such a good friend to me. She's always there. And it's like she has a sixth sense, because if she doesn't hear from me for a day or two, I'm usually in some kind of funk or whatever. And she'll just kind of send like one line, like sending love, and I'm like, oh, thank you. Like, It's just nice. All my friends do that for me, but yeah, she's just such a good friend. And she's fiercely loyal, I'll tell you. She really is. Not in a way that I'm controlling her. That's the thing is I like to surround myself with smart and very independent people that I can emulate. I'm not trying to get people to emulate me. That's for damn sure. Please don't. Please don't. Ximena, there are people who supported her and even enabled her and should be ashamed and went after John and me and all of us without even stopping to think. Yeah, I've joined that club lately. It's constant and it's just bullshit. And don't listen. You've got a lot of support. And I don't know what they think they're going to accomplish by attacking us. We're not going to shut up about it. If it comes up again, I'll talk about it again. I'm not making any promises. I'm not going to be like, I'm never going to talk about this again, only to talk about it again. I didn't talk about it for a few days, but yesterday was crazy. It was a big FTG Friday or whatever. Everybody was coming out of the woodwork. I didn't stream it all yesterday, but here I am today. And if you look at Natalie's thumbnail, my thumbnail, yeah, Reese is on both of them. That's just, it happened. So that happened. Yeah. Hey, Millie the Dandelion. Hey there. I found both channels while I was still at the MH hospital. Mental health. I found a support group out of services. It's actually my discharge letter warning me to rely on it. And here we are. Well, I'm glad you're here. Ximena, to Asen, believing in Reese doesn't make you stupid. This is not on you. It's on her. You did nothing wrong. 100%. 100%. Hey, Grandma Leonard. So many people were hurt and so many of us didn't see it happening. Yeah. I agree with that. Yeah, John. Thank you for being there for us. That may have been the hardest thing I've ever had to do. That was hard to watch. I can imagine it would be hard to do. Oh my God. Because my devotion was complete, but my heart feels much lighter. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Oh, yeah, that was hard to watch. I'm so sorry you went through that. Susie Q. Reese was an ethics officer and they are ruthless. Yeah, that's kind of something my husband observed. It was like the lack of emotion and kind of he's not a fan. I'll just say that. He's not a fan. Shut up, George. He's laughing. Duncan is he's a very tolerant, nice person. So if he points out somebody that he's not a fan of, it's like, really? Yeah, he's very rare that he says he doesn't care for somebody. Hey, Spirit, if you crochet drama llamas, they need the dramatic emo fringe and eyeliner. Okay. Emo fringe and eyeliner. Okay, send me a picture. Because I'm a firm believer, if you give me a picture, I could probably crochet it. Just like if you can draw it, I think I'm a firm believer that anything can be crocheted. You may not want to crochet everything, but I think it can be. The bald eagle has landed. That must be AA Ron. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, sorry, I took the Lord's name in vain. Aaron Smith Levin. What do you call him, Stace? We're gonna rag on him now. Oh, they said he was sweaty. I was like, Aaron Sweaty Smith Levin. Not sweaty. Kellamore Lions Bane. Hey there. Interesting name. Very cool. If we are allowed to praise someone, same goes for critique. Yeah, I think that's right. Yeah. It makes sense. Aaron, stop pestering Marilyn. I don't think he was reading the chat. I think he was on his way out the door. It sounded like he was probably hopping in the car. That's why he didn't answer my question. Although I did text him and I was just like, hey, I was like, are we second-class citizens? He's like, definitely not. Definitely not. You better say that or I'll beat him up. Oh my God, thank you, Destiny. You don't have to do that. Me. It's raining cups. Hallelujah, it's raining cups. Amen. George, why aren't you dancing back there? It's raining cups. Oh, there he goes. He's doing disco. Thank you so much, Destiny. And still clap for you too. Lasanda, I was supporting many creators in the community. After Mike Render, I became cautious. Now, when I support, I thought about the creator carefully and support with all my heart. Well, I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for being here. And you have been a very good friend, supporter of this whole community. And yeah, you're such a great person. Thank you for being here. Jojo, also Erin platformed her to get her loads of subs. 99% of her original audience went to her through Erintology. Yeah. And from what I can tell, her trips to Clearwater to stream with Erin were for that reason too. Yeah. And I never seen a stream that she doesn't mention her supporters or her sub count. She's like, especially when she's got like 2,000 or 3,000 people watching, she's just like, make sure you sub. Oh, but only if you want to. Like, yeah, I don't know. Force of delightful nature. When someone tells you they know better about you than anyone else, yeah, that's suspicious. A potential sign of manipulation for me. I saw that with T. Yep, made me uncomfortable. Yeah, that was so weird. And knowing Erin like I do, it's like, that was just really weird. Like, you don't talk to people like that. I wouldn't talk like I have, like Aaron's like, yeah, I don't really know him like that. But he's like, because I was backstage, so he kept using me as an example. He's just like, now if it was Marilyn, I was like, yeah, shut up. And I typed it in the thing because I was like, he knows that I care about him. It's not like, this false, like, I love you, bro. And I'm the only one that's gonna tell you the truth. And people, I can tell you for one, it definitely wasn't me that supposedly all these friends of his was going to Tommy. I never spoke to Tommy. I think once I commented maybe 1 or 2 lines in one of his streams after I quit smoking. That was the only interaction I've ever had with Tommy at all, or Brett, whatever you want to call him. Ben Bacon. Yeah, he doesn't fool me. I know George is trouble. He is. Do I want to say that? Yeah, I want to say it. I thought of George when Hockey Town John was saying how he kind of felt like one of the girls. As we would dub George, I forgot what was it, Nora? Somebody was always talking about making fetch happen. And George, I don't know if you'd never seen Mean Girls or what, but if you watched Mean Girls and he was like, now he's just on this whole making fetch happen thing. So we're like, yeah, George is the meanest of the Mean Girls. So now we're actually in the cult of Stace. We're in a little gang. The Staces. Mental block. I think Reese lies to herself as much as she lies to everyone else. It will take a lot of humbling if she's able to shed the dishonesty and manipulative way of being. Yeah. And like I said, she absolutely forgets. If you lie so much, you forget what you lied about. You got to lie again, and you probably forget the truth too. Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. Okay. I can't ignore the parallel between R and T and okay, yeah. L and S, yeah. Shady characters using second gens as a shield and gain. By the way, I'm not excusing R and L's behavior. Yeah. 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 I agree with that. And again, I'll say this again. I don't weigh in on a lot of this because, like with Laura, I love Laura. Lara. And I think her and Reese are different, very different. I think Reese has done a lot more damage. And I think that Lara is, she's got some things to decide about. And I am very hesitant to talk about second gens because I do really love and care about them. And even with Nora, I only was defending what she was saying about me and against me, mostly. Only mostly, yeah. And I let a lot of things go, a lot. So again, just because you're not a never end, just because you're an ex-Scientologist doesn't make you immune to criticism at all. So yeah. And I wish Laura the best, and I hope she, gets out of that situation. It sounds like she is, but even more so. I hope so. Hey, Grandma Law Nerd. I think bringing this to the light, especially helpful to those of us who had no idea. I want to hear everyone. Yeah. And if the mods can put some of the links in the chat, well, you probably know how to find Aaron's channel. He did a stream yesterday. I've done several streams on it. Natalie's done some talk. She's very balanced about it. I'm a little more because I'm kind of more in the thick of it because my friends were involved and I was involved to a degree, and Reese got me involved, even though, acts like I'm inserting myself. I'm not. But yeah, Ximena's channel and who am I also saying? Vanessa LaRose. If you look up Vanessa LaRose, it should come up. She did a stream about Tommy. Who am I missing? Keela did a stream last night. That was very healing. That was wonderful. Yeah. Hey, Abraham. Good to see you, friend. You are not stupid for believing in her, but to still believe in her after all this, then I question your intellect. Yeah, I mean, that's somebody's prerogative, but you're giving them the information and it's up to them what to do with it. But yeah, I really don't see how you can argue with the receipts, especially if you saw Ximena and Rocky Down John last night. Yikes. And even what Aaron shared yesterday, double yikes. Yeah. Destiny. I'm just picturing George watching Mean Girls and taking notes. I'll have to watch it again because I forget stuff, but he's going like this. He's taking notes. Oh my God. Poor Georgie. He's not mean. He's not a mean girl. Yeah. Oh, the stasis right at dawn. I love it. That's too funny. Yeah, it's what would I say like what would Marlene do? What would Jesus do? What would the stasis do? That's the question. That's the question. Hey, Rosalind, good to see you. The concept that someone is above criticism because they have tragedy in their lives is absurd. Everyone has tragedy in their lives, and accountability is still a thing. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Oh no. The hef is begging me to chauffeur her to the ceremony. There's a story behind that. I'm so honored. Oh my God. I'd rather you. Heated seats. Okay, we all can agree George Massey's not. Yeah, because they arrived at my house, albeit in one piece. But Hef was, she was a little woozy, to say the least. Joe McQueen, I, for one, am glad to see those who were lifeboat exes come here. Good space for folks. Thank you. Appreciate that, Joel. I am and always have been proud to be a part of this group. And we are proud to have you. So glad you stayed. Oh my God, my Sharona. I'm sorry. I'm just so glad you're here. I haven't seen you in a long time. And I was crying about like how I had little sing-songy greetings for certain people, and you were one of them. But my Sharona, thank you for being here. And you don't have to apologize for anything. For all the nice things I've said to Reese to get the ick I'm feeling off of me. being kind just to be kind doesn't always work, nor is it always good. Lesson learned. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I think we're all learning, you know, and I don't hate or dislike her or anything. It's just, you know, there's right and there's wrong. And sometimes you got to point out the wrong and distance yourself from it. And hopefully they'll learn and we learn, right? I was warned. Yeah, I remember that quote and I couldn't remember who said it. If you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. Mark Twain, right? Absolutely. And unfortunately, I have a pretty good memory for things people tell me, and there's so many inconsistencies with her. It was just like, oh my god. Ugh. And the crazy thing is, most of what she says is on tape, not tape, but you know what I mean, on video. Yeah. Oh, I miss Doug. I do too. You know, I always think like, oh, what would he be thinking about all this craziness? You know, it's crazy. Oh, crafts! I'm working on 3 preemie blankets. Oh yes, she makes little preemie clothes. They're beautiful. 1 crochet, 1 knit, and 1 Tunisian. I've heard of that, but I don't know how to pronounce it. I need different things to avoid boredom. Yeah, she's amazing. Lathanda Greco, she has a channel. Look her up. It's spelled like that, and she does crochet tutorials. So anybody looking to crochet to learn how, she does those. She's amazing because I don't know how to teach. I'm terrible. Mm-hmm. Susie Q, I was scared for all of you exposing them. Yeah, I mean, there were threats and yeah, a lot of opposition but it's worth it to get the truth out and to set people free, you know? Girl in the dark, why didn't she like you two being friends? I mean, she was the one with the Google I picked. Just okay, guys. I'm gonna put this out here. I'm sure half one mic because she laughed at it, and we were joking about doing this, and another friend of ours convinced me to do it. So on my let's see, I don't think it's in my YouTube store yet, but I made a mug. It's a silly one. If you have seen if somebody can put the peach emoji in the chat, it's a peach with googly eyes, and I made a mug. It says free have suha, and I will show, like, if I sell any, I will give it's $5 a mug over and above the cost of shipping. I think it's like for 15 ounces, $9.99 that you have to pay fourth wall, and then plus shipping, and then an extra $5, which I want to like get them a present from our channel for their wedding. So we can do a little cute little fundraiser, or if they want me to donate it to something, I will. And I can I can show you so that, you know, I don't want to be accused of like, you know, stealing people's money. I will show the receipts of any that I sell. So I don't know, Stace, Speria, if you're in the chat and can find that and put because I don't have it on my channel store yet, but if you look up Fourth Wall Coffee Cults and Crafts, should be able to find it. But is that okay with you, Hef? She listened. Buy my hoo-ha, the Hef. Okay. No, I want to. What do you think, guys? Okay, if you put how do I explain that mug? I am word vomiting. Okay, let's see. Give me a minute, guys. I'll try to find it so I can pop it on screen. I'm so bad at this. I'm fired. I was hoping it would just come up. I think I found it. Okay. Here it is. Yeah, I typed in fourth wall, coffee, cults, and crafts. And then browsing merch. Here it is. Oh, what happened? Can you see it? Oh. Let me see. Can you see that? This is rehab soup. There's 11 ounce for $13.95. I think the other one, the 15 ounces, is $14.95, something like that. Isn't that funny? Have you seen? I gotta order a sample. I gotta order myself one. All right, so probably ladies would be the ones to buy this, but yeah, this is kind of like our version of Me Too. We want to ensure that the free hefts hoo-ha. Oh, isn't it cute? So overwhelmed. My hoo-ha is immortal. Okay, enough of that, I guess. Oh my god. Holy shit, I need one. And I mean it too. If anybody orders them, I will keep a tally. And you're buying now? Oh my god, that's so funny. I did. I made it for her and Alan, and I sent them free. If so, let me know when yours is in. I'll have you guys come on screen. Have with her hoo-ha cup. I have Oh, you will? You will. Come on. We are not grown-ups. I know. Yeah, you gotta come on. Okay, and I gotta order mine right after this, so we all have it at the same time. Probably take a little while to get to Australia. Now we know what still over it. We love half. Bet Reese didn't see that coming. I grew up having a second childhood. Yep. All right, guys. I hope that gave you a good laugh. She's such a good sport. She's amazing. Hoo-ha's for everyone. Googly eyes sold separately. Oh my god. Beginning of April. Okay, cool. Oh my god. Yeah, I definitely gotta order one. I know. That's great. Yeah, I like the black ones. This is the 15 ounce, I think. I love these. They're good mugs. I put them in the dishwasher all the time. This is a Burn My Biscuits. There's a Flying Monkey one. We just have fun. We just make fun of people making fun of us. Huff's a rock star. Yeah, she is. She's awesome. Had to say it. Stace snorted. Oh my god, I was dying. All right, guys. I guess I should go. Wow, we're on 2 hours now. All right, everybody, have a great weekend. I'm not sure I don't think I'll be on tomorrow. My boys have an early gig and I haven't seen them all week, so I'm dying to listen to them play some music. So I will see you later, and I will play my boys' outro. Bye. Have a great day. Xenu, Marlene, everybody partake. Cheers. This is good coffee. This is why, my hubby makes the coffee.
We don't know what we are looking for. heart.